The thunder cracked like a war drum as the sea boiled and roared. A monstrous ship, blacker than midnight, cut through the mist, its belly full of machines and men who wore steel like second skin. They came not as traders, not as guests, but as predators, armed to the teeth, with eyes that gleamed like gold and hearts harder than iron. And when their boots touched the red sands of Okoloma, the wind held its breath. Tamuno felt it first. The shift in the air, the way the river sighed as if in mourning. He stood waist deep in the creek, his net heavy with fish, but his spirit heavier still. His grandfather's spirit, long dead and dwelling beneath the mangroves, whispered through the reeds, "The white tide comes. Blood shall follow." They said the men were sent by the government, men who wore agbada by day and counted foreign money by candlelight. They had sold Okoloma for a price no elder saw, and now these strangers had come, bearing bribes in briefcases and guns on their backs, drilling machines that howled like demons, ready to bleed the land for oil. Okoloma was a humble place, a fishing village cradled by the river and blessed by the spirits. The people lived by the rhythm of tides, their songs rising with the morning sun, their prayers cast into water with offerings of salt and kola. But peace is a fragile thing, easily broken. When the first tree fell to their chainsaws, the land groaned. When the first pipe was buried, the rivers turned black, crops withered, fish vanished. The drums of the ancestors began to beat in Tamuno's dreams. He was not a warrior, he was a fisherman, son of a fisherman. His hands were calloused by nets, not machetes. But when his younger brother, Oyinbo, named in jest for his fair skin, was shot trying to stop the strangers from digging a new well, something ancient stored within Tamuno, the elders wept, the gods listened. On the seventh night, beneath a crescent moon, Tamuno walked alone into the sacred grove. He stripped naked, smeared his skin with ash and red clay, and knelt before the tree of spirits, Ubeama, the mother root. He called out, not with words but with soul, pouring grief and rage into the earth. The grove answered. Wind twisted into shapes. Fireflies formed faces. The air thickened with ancestral presence. The spirits of the creek, the forgotten gods of water and root, came to him. His grandfather, Okolo the river speaker, stepped out of the mist with eyes like storm clouds. "You have awakened us, Tamuno," he said. "Do you seek revenge or restoration?" Tamuno, trembling but firm, replied, "I seek justice." The spirits mocked him. His chest bore the spiral of Egbesu, the god of war. His eyes turned pale like the morning tide. The spirits granted him the powers of the water and wind. He could vanish like mist, strike like thunder, and command beasts of the deep. They told him, "Use this gift wisely, for power untempered is poison." The next night, the camp of the strangers fell into chaos. One of their bulldozers sank into the swamp without a trace. Another caught fire with no flame in sight. The workers spoke in hushed tones of shadows that walked between trees, of whispers in a tongue older than English or Ija. Captain Reinhardt, the European who led the operation, laughed at their fear. A tall man with skin like milk and a voice like gravel. He believed in nothing but force. He had bribed the right men in Abuja, silenced the right chiefs, and even brought a private army of mercenaries. Dark-suited, cold-eyed killers who answered only to cash. But not even his guns could stop what came next. Tamuno walked through their camp, unseen, the spirits wrapping him in silence. Where his feet touched, machines rusted, fuel turned to blood, water turned to salt. At the heart of the site, he found it, the heart drill, the massive beast machine meant to tap into the sacred vein beneath the village, a vein that pulsed not with oil alone but with spiritual blood, the buried bones of an ancient god. He laid his hands on it, whispered words taught by the wind. The earth cracked, torrents of black water burst from the ground. The drilling site exploded into chaos. Men screamed. Floods swept through tents. Strange lights danced in the air, red, blue, and silver. Spirits awakened, enraged, free. Captain Reinhardt, half-drenched and fuming, pulled out his radio. "We're under attack. Locals with some kind of supernatural aid. Send the black unit. Send everything. But it was already too late. Tamuno, standing atop a mangrove root like a god made flesh, raised his hand. Thunder roared. The spirits answered. The river rose like a serpent and swallowed the first line of mercenaries whole. Yet, power draws power. From the horizon, another ship emerged, smaller, sleeker, silent. It bore no flags. It bore no names. But Tamuno felt it, a coldness that touched even the ancestors. A foreign priest, a white man cloaked in black, stepped ashore, holding a crooked staff and whispering words that made the mangroves tremble. The spirits recoiled. Tamuno's eyes widened. He is not just a man, his grandfather's voice echoed in his ear. He is a binder of spirits, a soul hunter. The priest looked up, his eyes locking with Tamuno's across the battlefield, and he smiled. You have stirred ancient things, son of the creek, the man said, his voice smooth and unnatural. But now, the real war begins. As the priest raised his staff, the air cracked open like an egg, and something began crawling through, a beast with no skin, its mouth lined with teeth that whispered. Tamuno braced himself. The river behind him surged. The spirits screamed in warning. The land would not fall without a fight, but would even the ancestors be enough?